Nice. I put your video without sound.
Кексики. Кекешики. Let's watch it again. This time with sound.
Because let me take you on an epic journey to the heart of the galaxy. Oh, no, wait, that's just an ice cream sandwich. A space ice cream sandwich? I mean, look at that astronaut. He's gonna love eating that thing as he explosively decompresses. I hope I'm not ruining anyone's childhood by saying that astronaut ice cream has probably never actually been eaten in space. In fact, it would be a terrible food for use in microgravity. Real space food is a lot more like the MRE rations you eat in the Army, and you can see why they don't sell that at the Smithsonian gift shop. So how did this come to dominate the imaginations of space-obsessed kids like I was? Well, when the US and the Soviets were planning the first crewed space flights, no one knew if it would even be possible to eat in space. Gravity plays a big role in pulling our food down our throats and through our systems. In the absence of Earth-type gravity, they were afraid that maybe food would just kind of float inside your esophagus, like, you know, ink floating around inside a pen, and it wouldn't come out the bottom end as intended.
We spent millions of dollars developing a pen for the astronauts that would work in zero gravity. You know what the Russians did?
Used a pencil?
They used a pencil.
Yeah, that's actually an urban legend perpetuated by the West Wing. First of all, most of the cost of developing the space pen was borne by this private company, Fisher, because they knew that they would be able to sell it to space-obsessed kids like me. Bingo. Secondly, the Soviets also switched to using pens because pencils are highly flammable, which is, you know, not great inside a spacecraft. Also, the graphite kind of chips and turns into dust that floats around inside the capsule, and that's not great either. And that's basically the same reason why nobody eats space ice cream in space. Imagine all these particles floating around and getting in your eyes and getting in the computers or whatever. Though this product was initially developed for NASA. In the early 1970s, somebody at NASA's Ames Research Center in Silicon Valley got an idea. What if visitors here could taste some space food? That might ignite their imaginations, and then they might call their representatives and urge them to not cut NASA's budget. Solid reasoning. So, Ames called a company called American Outdoor Products that made freeze-dried foods for hikers and such. You put some frozen food in a vacuum chamber, which lowers the boiling point such that you can evaporate all the water out without getting the food warm. Nutrients, enzymes, and even some beneficial microorganisms go undamaged. The food is preserved, and it's much lighter, so it doesn't weigh down your pack. So NASA asked this company to freeze-dry some ice